Hello everyone, thank you for being here and welcome to lesson number 20 of A Course in Miracles. I am determined to see. We have been quite casual about our practice periods thus far. There has been virtually no attempt to direct the time for undertaking them. Minimal effort has been required and not even active cooperation and interest have been asked. This approach has been intentional and very carefully planned. We have not lost sight of the crucial importance of the reversal of your thinking. The salvation of the world depends on it. Yet you will not see if you regard yourself as being coerced and if you give in to resentment and opposition. This is our first attempt to introduce structure. Do not misconstrue it as an effort to exert force or pressure. You want salvation. You want to be happy. You want peace. You do not have them now because your mind is totally undisciplined and you cannot distinguish between joy and sorrow, pleasure and pain, love and fear. You are now learning how to tell them apart, and great indeed will be your reward. Your decision to see is all that vision requires. What you want is yours. Do not mistake the little effort that is asked of you for an indication that our goal is of little worth. Can the salvation of the world be a trivial purpose? And can the world be saved if you are not? God has one Son, and He is the resurrection and the life. His will is done because all power is given Him in heaven and on earth. In your determination to see, is vision given you. The exercises for today consist in reminding yourself throughout the day that you want to see. Today's idea also tacitly implies the recognition that you do not see now. Therefore, as you repeat the idea, you are stating that you are determined to change your present state for a better one, and one you really want. Repeat today's idea slowly and positively at least twice an hour today, attempting to do so every half hour. Do not be distressed if you forget to do so, but make a real effort to remember. The extra repetitions should be applied to any situation, person, or event that upsets you. You can see them differently, and you will. What you desire, you will see. Such is the real law of cause and effect as it operates in the world. Okay, that is lesson number 20 of A Course in Miracles. I am determined to see. Yes, I remember doing this lesson so clearly. It is one of my favorite lessons. But I wanted to start by emphasizing a little on the ending of this lesson, where it reads that we should not feel stressed if we forget to do a repetition while doing the lessons. Actually, the more relaxed you are, the better, as these lessons are not meant to cause you stress. In the contrary, these lessons are meant to realize the peace within. But it appears that we have to make an effort to be peace, but this is not so. We are already one eternal spirit, and therefore there's nothing to become. There's only a realization to be apparently experienced. You see, we are already in the kingdom of heaven because we are the kingdom of heaven as one Son, which, as this lesson affirms, is the resurrection and the life. And I wanted to expand on what is meant by the Son of God is the resurrection and the life. The Son of God is every apparent individual, as in everybody without exclusions. But how is everybody the resurrection and the life? In what way? Well, in identity. Resurrection is the rebirth of spirit identification, the realization that we are one eternal spirit, the real I am. So you can also say that resurrection implies the death of the apparent individual, as in the death of the apparent body-mind identity. That's what's meant by we must die to enter the kingdom of heaven, as in we must die to the idea that we are mortal to realize the eternal I am. So the purpose of all of these lessons is to train the apparent mind to slow down enough, to discipline the mind to be still and notice the peace of the eternal now, which is one with you. That's why the more present we become, meaning empty of thought, empty of commentary, empty of the story in the mind, the more peaceful we seem to be. So going back to this lesson, I am determined to see. How much are you determined to see as one, as the eternal Christ? In other words, how much are you willing to be peace, to be present and realize your eternal identity? Do you want peace, but only when bad things happen? Or do you want peace above all else? And as I said earlier, it's not like eternal peace has to be attained. God's will is already done. We are boundless peace now. We're in the kingdom of heaven now because we are the kingdom of heaven itself, eternity itself. So these lessons are not about apparent individuals becoming something that we're not. These lessons are reminders of what we are in truth, one eternal spirit. And I also wanted to remind you one more time not to stress if you forget to do a repetition. But I wanted to share with you what I did 4 years ago, not to forget my repetitions. I used my timer on my phone and I set it for every half an hour or every hour or whatever the lesson required for that particular day. That way I never forgot to do the repetitions. And every time my alarm went off, I took it as if God was calling me. It didn't matter what I was doing at that moment. God was my priority and the most important presence. So to say the least, I was determined to see. You see, I needed peace so bad, just like you may seem to need peace now too. I was done, and I truly wanted to walk the walk. I was ready. We all have different levels of pain tolerance, and I had reached mine. I wanted peace above all else. I was determined to be present, to be peace, and realize the eternal self within. So the more I became aware that my thoughts were obscuring peace, the more I meditated. And the more I meditated, the more peaceful I felt. So I was determined to be present more often, to be still, to be silent as the lessons suggested. So I meditated on my free time, in the morning and before bed. I even made myself a schedule to fit my meditation practice in the middle of the day as a must. So my family knew that when I was meditating, I was not to be interrupted. I was determined to see as Christ. But I also had faith, profound faith. I had to. I was determined. So I took these lessons as a little child would. I truly believed in love, in peace, in the words of Christ, with all my heart. I desired it. Christ became my only desire in life. I reached a point of no return, truly. I needed to see. I was determined to see. I hope you enjoyed practicing lesson number 20. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and see you tomorrow for lesson number 21. Have a wonderful day.